campaign. Joining us to talk about that and more, Democratic strategist Eduardo Rodriguez and conservative commentator Tara Wall. Good to see you both. First of all,
Thanks.
Wanted to ask you about the dinner and all the parties around it. Did you catch a little Jimmy Kimmel or the president? They were both pretty funny.
Pretty funny, yeah. Actually, Suzanne, I think I watch every year just to see what you're wearing, so I can make sure that I stay on top of all of my fashion sense. Seriously, yeah, I think that it was funny all around. I think you still have to make light of things, even in the serious economic situation we are in as a country. There are times for that. There's timing that. But I actually, frankly, thought Jimmy Kimmel was funniest because he essentially kept it real, and really kept it right on point, even with his jokes. So, that's just the kind of event it is.
I try to do my best, Tara, with the outfits. I don't know if I'm setting any fashion trends. What do you think, Eduardo?
Well, I think the person who suffered the most throughout that whole thing was probably Jimmy Kimmel, because as we know, it's the host that ends up getting some of that spotlight for whether or not they go too far in attacking either side. And I think we sensed through a lot of the comments that he was relieved, and even some of the interviews with him afterwards, he was just generally relieved that it went over well and that he's not being criticized and banned forever.
It's nice to see everybody kind of not taking themselves a little too seriously. Folks in Washington tend to do. I want to turn the corner. Something also that was really interesting that happened over the weekend. This was on Sunday. There was a fundraiser, a private fundraiser. You had the former President Bill Clinton along with President Obama. This was at the home of Terry McAuliffe, who used to head up Hillary Clinton's campaign, and essentially raising money, these two hand in hand, moving forward. What do you think about that, Tara? Do you think that this is going to be a threat to the Republicans and to Romney, seeing this kind of powerhouse behind the president?
Well, certainly, he is outspent by millions and millions, almost billions. He knows that. But essentially, look, you got to remember, it's a little ironic. I mean, there's no love between these two. I mean, it was Bill Clinton that said that the president Obama back 4 years ago was not ready for office. It's ironic that it was President Obama that cited Bill Clinton, cited Ronald Reagan, in fact, as the way to change the country, and not Bill Clinton. He said that Bill Clinton had some missed years there and missed the mark. So it is a little ironic. I don't know if he's using this to validate some of the policies that have failed over the years. We'll see. But I don't know that it's a threat per se, and the Republicans are fearful of this. I think Republicans will continue to stay on message. The Romney campaign will stay on message about the economy and where we are as a nation now with unemployment, with youth, with women.
Right.
There are a number of things to point out there that are very serious issues, and I think they are continuing to rightly direct it in that
Eduardo,
direction.
I want you to get in here because obviously there is some irony. We know that there is some bad blood between these two, but they're clearly trying to present a united front here. I imagine that they're trying to use President Clinton to try to get the moderates and even some of those conservative states where Obama might not be as effective.
Well, I'd like to just grab something that Tara said, which is Romney's going to stay on message, which means they're going to stay on their message around the policy. And the biggest reason that Bill Clinton's out there with Obama now is because he knows exactly what the Romney policies for the economy, what they did during the Bush years, because it's an identical plan. And he knows very well that it didn't work before Bill Clinton took office. What he was able to do, the model that he was able to set for President Obama now, is what's going to continue keeping the country in the right direction. So it makes complete sense for Bill Clinton to be there hand in hand with Obama to say, we need to keep moving forward. And what Romney's offering, as he said, as what Bill Clinton said that night, this weekend, was what Romney is offering is what Bush offered, but on steroids. And we don't want to go that direction.
I think they have short memories. I think they have very short memories. There was a lot of tension during that campaign, and obviously, they're going to have to brush some of that under the rug. He was the one that injected some of the race incidences early on in that campaign. So I think, look, there is no love lost between these folks. He's going to do what he's got to do to help the party, essentially.
And Tara, let me ask you this, because considering so many Clintonites are actually a part of the Obama administration, aside from Hillary Clinton, you've got, Obama's defense secretary, the attorney general, the treasury secretary, chief of staff, and, of course, Vice President Joe Biden, all who worked for President Clinton. There really doesn't seem to be a lot of daylight between them, that there is a movement here afoot, that they're going to do whatever it takes to rally the troops and get behind President Obama, get those people out to the polls.
Well, it's more of the same kind of big government-type policies. You'll see something, more of the same rhetoric, more of the same. It's just more of the same. I mean, it's cyclical, and again, I don't think folks will be surprised or should be surprised in that regard.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Bill Clinton. His role in all of this is part of an ad that actually talks about the decision that Obama had to make to order the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. I want you to take a look at this.
He had to decide. And that's what you hire a president to do. You hire the president to make the calls when no one else can do it.
Estuardo, we've heard this. Some people imply it, some people say it outright, that they don't think Mitt Romney would have made the same tough decision to order that raid. The bin Laden raid, the anniversary is tomorrow. Is that campaign, are they politicizing the capturing and killing of bin Laden?
Well, let's take it one step further, Suzanne. Mitt Romney in his 2007 election bid said himself it wasn't worth the cost and the risk to go after bin Laden. Of course, 2 days later he reversed himself, but I think that's right. I think Romney would not be, if he would have been the president, would not have been able to demonstrate that kind of leadership.
But the question, Estuardo, is really, are they politicizing the issue over bin Laden? There's some people at Gillespie Bozeman who said that's not right. That's actually not, that's not fair ground.
Let's be fair here. That the answer to your question is that when this election really heats up even more than it is now, they're going to question whether or not Obama has the national security expertise and temperament to lead this nation. To raise the Osama bin Laden killing is very important here because he was focused, he had the opportunity, he went forward and executed what we now know as a successful operation.
All right, we got to leave it there. Tara, you got
you can put that on the table, but I think, when you tout yourself as a uniter and you use campaign issues like this to divide folks, that's what people are disappointed about, particularly when you say what someone would not do. I think that is divisive.
We got to leave it there, guys. I know you're not going to agree on this point. We've got to leave it there. We'll bring you both back, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Thank you, Tara Estuardo. Good to see you. Well, tired of shelling out money for the never-ending